y'all know, like in Waco, like 5 years ago, they found a limb from a lynching that happened outside of Waco in like the store, and they were just like, you cannot have this, like this is from this time, and it was like still there. You ain't heard nothing about that, and that's so unfortunate because like no one wants to talk about that because it's uncomfortable.
I feel like people are lazy. No one wants to do like the work anymore. Like what you said, they hide it. No one researches anymore. No one watches the news. No one reads. Everybody on Instagram, TikTok, Googling this or Chat GPT. You can't really figure out or find out what's going on or what happened in the past.
One more thing I would say is you also got a desire to, I could teach you everything about Black history. I could tell you it. But will you actively listen? Will you learn it? Will you retain it? Or is it just in one ear, out the other? I can show you everything in the world, but will you pay attention?
I do want to say though, I think that's why it's so good that it's like we remember these things through music and poetry and like spoken word. And if your parents are ever telling you a story, those are usually more memorable than somebody just teaching you from a textbook. So though it like kind of sucks the fact that it's not taught, I think it makes it more valuable the fact that it's only taught through stories sometimes or through grandparents or through music, because then it's like you're more likely to remember them. And so it's like whenever we have kids and they're like, oh, how was it like back then? You could be like, I never went through it, but this is the story that my grandfather told me. And so they're more likely to value it, or like a song, of course. And so, yeah.
I recently just had a conversation with my grandparents. I didn't know that my mom was the first in our family to go to an integrated school. My grandparents didn't go to integrated schools. There's so much that they know that they would be willing to share if you just asked. The reason we learn about the same historical figures is because they're palatable. That's the safe people to learn. You know what I mean? You're not going to learn what really happened, and you're not going to learn what it was actually like from people who didn't want you to have that in the first place.
Next up is our interactive piece for the day. We would love for you guys to either group up or you can do it individually. You can either create a song, poem, or a drawing that equally resonates with Black culture. At the end, we would like people to come up and present. You don't have to.
I drew this right here because I went to like an elementary school where it was majority Hispanic people, and I was very insecure about my hair. Like, I'm not as insecure as it to this day because I got my locks, so I feel like I got my Black girl magic power and stuff. But as a child, I didn't really embrace my hair, and to this day, my parents don't embrace their hair also. I've tried to suggest to my mom and dad, you know, get some locks, do this, that. My mom continues to perm her hair. The profession that she wants to do, she thinks they're not gonna accept me. So she has straight hair. I told my dad to get locks. He thinks the profession that he wants to do, they're not gonna accept him. So that's why I drew this, accept your hair.
What do you smile with your?
Really sweetly, the first Black person to publish.
Be quiet.
But Blacks earn the right to free speech.
Stay silent.
Don't you know? What about Thurgood Marshall?
No one cares.
But isn't it history?
There ain't nothing to share.
What about Anthony Benton? He created the first Black public school.
We don't need facts about the Blacks. That doesn't get you far in public school.
But what about Lucy Stanton? She was the first to graduate.
From where, first grade?
No, with a degree. People like you will never see the beauty, the power, this dark history.